I am J.P. Lennon for Radio Coffee. The origin of Santa Claus. Who is the real Santa Claus? Was he a real man? Yes. Saint Nicholas, whose feast day is observed by the Roman Catholic Church on the 6th day of December, is the great and good saint who first acted the part of Santa Claus. How it happened is a real Christmas story of very long ago. It was the night before Christmas in the great castle of a famous nobleman. No lights shone in the mansion. All was dark and cold and desolate. The owner of the castle sat before the empty fireplace in the dining hall, his head sunk in his hands. Upstairs, his 3 young daughters had gone to bed without supper. Despite the fine stone palace in which they lived, and the high rank to which they belonged, the nobleman and his children were poor. His whole fortune was swept away some time ago. The man's thoughts were upon his children rather than himself. Lost in his meditations, the nobleman sat in his chair as the time slipped by, unheeded. The streets grew deserted and silent. All had gone home. At last, his head sank on his chest and fell asleep. He was awakened at midnight by a strange sound. Someone threw something down the chimney. The mysterious package sat on the empty hearth before him. He jumped up and looked around. When he discovered the parcel, he was afraid to open it at first. What might it contain? His curiosity overcame his fright, and he cautiously reached out and picked up the object. It was a large ball. It was heavy and gave out a chinking sound when handled. He untied the string and saw a pile of gold pieces. The nobleman wondered who could have done such a kind deed to him and his daughters for a long time. He was unable to discover the identity of the unknown benefactor. The months passed by, and after a while the nobleman gave up all hopes of solving the mystery. In the meantime, his eldest daughter married, and he had been able to provide her with a suitable dowry from the ball of gold. Again it was Christmas Eve. The nobleman had come once more to the end of his money. His daughter's marriage had taken the greater portion of the gift, and now he was faced with the same situation as before. Again he sat before the cheerless, empty fireplace until sleep overcame him. Then the same thing took place. The nobleman found that this has happened to other people as well. It later turned out to Bishop Nicholas that gave the gifts. It is, however, interesting to note that the same letters that are used to spell Santa also spell Satan. If you take the word Christmas apart, you find the words Christ and Mass. A Mass is in fact a funeral. So be careful the next time you say Merry Christmas. You are actually saying almost as good as Happy Funeral, but I'll leave it there.